Alright, yins guys, here comes another video. It's kind of funny how, I always said before, I sometimes stink at making videos when you sit there and people like me, when I sit there and say I'm going to make a video about this and I go to do it, and when people like me go to do it, it kind of comes out as not as good as you want and all that, and it's viewable to the people that are faithfully watching you because of other stuff. And I always said before, like, too, how stuff comes out in text a little bit better with me, and I'll go on and on with it in text because my thoughts happen to be there. When you go to make a video, all your thoughts ain't always there. Some people are better at it than others, and I was talking back and forth in text with on a video that I did about a particular troll, because I was using my new intro with the laughing monkey, which gives me an excuse to feature and ridicule trolls. And yeah, we're talking and joking around back and forth, and how thoughts just come up that are kind of just relevant enough and all that. And anyway, that's usually how my thoughts come out the best. And so that's why out there in the world, just comes out of nowhere and I'll talk your head off. But sometimes I'll make a video and you look at some of my talk videos, even though, yeah, my video making fun of praying and speaking in tongues did get a huge amount of views, that old video, and I'm looking at myself back then where my speaking wasn't the greatest, but I still got another video like that coming, and I've outlined that on a lot of subjects in text. I'll talk away in text, but then sometimes say it in a video. When you get a video, try to do a video and plan that you're going to make a video, okay, and say, oh, I'm going to make a video. But then, I don't know, some days you make it doesn't come out the way you want it, but then you'll say the same shit out somewhere else out in the world, or right when you're not even planning it, like, but you'll sit and you'll have all kind of shit to say, and then I don't know how shit just comes and flies out. I mean, people that are better, there are probably people that are better than me at making videos, but they probably, even though they're better at me, and even though I can't speak for shit today. Even though they're better than me at making videos, out there in the world, they're probably better yet when shit just flies out of their mouth, oh, right. But anyway, I was, where was I? I was talking about, back and forth joking around with this person, and I was making fun of this troll and said he was probably, and all drinking like that, and in one of them moods, and yeah. And anyway, they were joking with me saying, well, yeah, I smoke a little bit, and, I drink, and I did say, well, yeah, some of us maybe drink for pleasure, or drink or smoke, say you're beer and sports, or, you're having a little bit of beer with food or some party, or maybe some of you out there have a little bit in your fridge, but then you got the jerks that drink and smoke because they're miserable assholes and they want everybody else to be miserable. Some of them express their stuff out and troll. Some people express their shit like as trolls on the internet. That's kind of what I'm implying. But I got into other subjects because it's just relevant enough, and I was talking about the stuff I do. I need all the breath I could get. And I was sort of talking about, even though I don't claim to be Bruce Lee, my stuff is strength related that I do in my videos, and it dovetails into more simpler kickboxing and elbowing and kneeing and headbutting, and then it'll turn into, you start out as like a level 1, mixed martial art. You can bring common people like you and me having the right to bear arms, not just bear guns. I preached it. Unlike the other, I'll accept feminists if they believe in this right to bear, and I'm willing to, anything they believe in that right, they're welcome to, and no matter who you are, you're welcome to use what I got. I don't care if you're black or white or whatever. But I was talking about how David James of that V Arnis Jitsu I saw one of his videos. He was preaching, you can keep all your habits, smoking and drinking. You'll learn how to defend yourself and this and that. And yeah, I agree with him there. If you drink and smoke, you're still capable of stuff, because there's another example too at the same time that's also true that I heard Henry Rollins talking about in his the CD called Everything, which he says some really deep and stuff about human nature. He was talking about in Los Angeles, everybody drinks and smokes, and the air is already polluted. Like, well, in other countries, that problem too. Polluted air, they're drinking and smoking, and they're just, some of them are crazy, you know. They'll, even though I rather not drink and smoke to do what I do and utilize all my breath as, I used to smoke, by the way, that's what I'll say too. Wore a bandana imitating Guns N' Roses, always had a cigarette in my mouth, and I was like, I remember when I was younger, the last thing I actually smoked when I was 17 was a thing when my stepdad came back from Saudi Arabia when he was stationed there, you know, the one Gulf War. He brought back a pack of things that weren't cigarettes, because tobacco was supposed to be illegal in Saudi Arabia, I believe, but they were this package of these little things. They were rolled like joints. There were some leaf, and I smoked them just for the hell of it. But that's the last thing I smoked before I completely quit. And my reason why I quit, which some of you guys might feel like doing too. You ever know those people, your own family members, friends, you like them and all, but there's those deals where your cigarettes will turn up missing, or people always bumming cigarettes from you, even your best friends and all that stuff, and you catch them with a whole bunch of cigarettes, and it pisses you off, and sometimes you'll let them get away with it and just let it slide, not fight, you know. Then one day you decided, just, you know what, in your own head, you're acting cordial about it, and now I'm just quitting. They don't believe you at first, and all of a sudden, you know, you have less friends, and then you see ones that still come around, you know, that are still faithful friends, but in your own head, you're being cordial, but you're like, in your head, you're like, fuck you, you know, freaking, always, what do you call it, moochers and, people like that, and then when you want one, they don't always have it, some of these people, and then there was the thing, too, that I'm one of them, rebellious punks that, if I can help you smoking and save money, if you always struggle with it and you'd like to quit something and save money, I don't force any of my ideals on anybody and say they're going to go to hell for something. If I could, I mean, I can give you, I don't know how to do it, right, quite frankly. If I could, I can give you a solution of quitting. I know my thing, the reason why I quit, it involved resentment, and there were things where I'm one of them rebellious punks that don't want to ask anybody for nothing and bum cigarettes off of, ever was a person to bum cigarettes off of strangers, I think that is like a beggar. I'm one of them people, whether it's your friends or your other strangers, I want to be like, walk by with a chip on my shoulder, I'll be your friend, but I'm one of them people that I can say, yeah, I don't need to ask anybody for nothing. I don't need to, if I don't have, my car is broke down, I don't need to ask nobody beg nobody for no ride nowhere. I'll take a bicycle and ride up there, I'll freaking walk out, and I've done it, and I gained respect from people for that, and, you know, people offer rides for people because they saw me doing it, you know, and they kind of admired it in a way, but, oh, so, yeah, that's all I need to tell, basically what I needed to tell you and all that. The only thing that I can give to help anybody that, if they wanted to try, you know, I can't sell anybody some secret quit smoking thing, like people are, those quit smoking scams, and they're selling you all this crap that's supposed to help you quit smoking. I wish I could, if anybody, people think cigarettes too much, I wish that I can download a, alright, let me try to say this again, I wish that I can download to you a part of my brain, just that part of the brain that quit smoking, that arrogant part of the brain. I wish I can, if that was a file, I wish that I can download that from my head to you, that arrogant thing where says, you know what, that you can get that type of arrogance that just, you know what, you got tired of it. You're tired of people asking you for a cigarette, and you're catching them with all, like, a bunch of cigarettes, even your best friends, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And that's another thing that I wanted to touch on, because I was gonna, if any of you guys got this far in the video, I'm gonna make a video about it. Unlike, this dovetails into whether it's cigarettes or them YouTube videos where these people were talking about that's drugs for their little religion, spiritual religions, for a high to induce some kind of mystical visions that they should be allowed to have it. I know there's a church that people really are allowed to, do the peyote thing or whatever, but there are people on YouTube advocating that. Well, I'm the opposite. I don't like to take anything for a headache, and I get migraines, but if I have to work somewhere, I carry ibuprofen or some kind of thing just in case, so I don't have to leave work and get sick. But I'm the opposite. During a type of a pain, or being without, say, even a cigarette. Any of you guys that want to quit, I'd rather, there's a type of embracing a pain, or embracing and I like how being without anything to drink for a long time, being without a cigarette, or even being without food for a long time, you're able to extract a mystical kind of energy from that, because the way your body reacts to it, everything from adrenaline to a kind of adrenaline and all that, a drive for something, there's going to be an energy, alright, if you didn't have a cigarette, you can recycle a type of adrenaline. That's what I'm going to try to say in short, to not drag this video over its time, but I'm going to do a separate video on that later. But I believe in the opposite. I don't need no drugs. You can be embracing a type of a pain, embracing hunger, and my method rivals a version of, some Christians will like it because it dovetails into fasting, but some Christians hate it, because the ones that believe in the absolute type of thing about fasting, I mean, okay, some Christians watching will like it, and some of them will know what I'm saying and embrace it, but it does work, and I wish I can download it from my brain into yours, to be quite frank, but I just don't know how. All I can tell you is, some of us can talk about it in text and argue about it, or a little bit, and throw text out there, and maybe some people can help each other, so I wish I had an answer or something that I can download from my brain into you to do it. But yes, I believe that it's similar to Christianity, and any of you people that are any other kind of occult things, and part of my stuff is based on a mixture of the occult and a little bit of Christianity, and I have a type of feminism that I will embrace, but my belief allows me to despise one type of feminism and embrace one other, what I'm advocating. There's videos on that later on. The reason why, I advocate things I do, and things I physically do too that are crazy. Yes, I abstract a mystical energy from it that does come from the physical, that the atheists will believe in their certain point, but I piss them off, because I piss a lot of everybody off, because it doesn't fit their narrative. A little bit of atheists or evolutionists, some of them like it, some of them don't, and the ones that really attack me for it, it's not really a reflection on them as a whole, it's just trolls, or the people that are that hateful about it are just few and far between, you know what I mean, I think, but I'm just throwing some thoughts out there, you know what I mean. That's basically what I'm saying. That's my time. It's my 15 minutes. I'm out of here. See you next time.